Okay, that looks like it's working. Let's go back here. So right now I'm going to be on final to land at my airfield, but I'm in a mission that started when the sun was coming up, I guess, in mission time, and now it's like way up high there. So it's been a few hours that we've been flying this mission, my wingman and I, and we've been testing a few things. One of the things, unfortunately, that I forgot to check in the mission editor when I built the mission is the ability to hot start our planes. So we have to do cold starts, unfortunately, but with the new feature where we can use the waypoint tool and how we can set up certain air bases to have dynamic spawns, I have two airfields where I can spawn aircraft, including the one that's right in front of me here in Turkey. And so we're going to go land our F-18. And just to show you what kind of things we can do with this is we're going to spawn an F-16, arm it the way we want, and we'll have previously made some waypoints for it. Then of course we'll have to go through the cold start procedure, but after that we can take off, go to the targets, come back here, reload, and hit as many other targets as we want. We can switch aircraft. If I have time, maybe I'll take an F4. I've been wanting to practice my F4 a little bit, and I know that I have placed some F4s available here at the airfield. So for now we'll just land the F-18 that we bombed a few targets with to verify some things, my wingman and I. And so let's bring down the gear, flaps, slow this baby down a little bit, because I talk a lot, but I need to get into landing configuration. Alright. It's a bit of a cowboy landing, but it should work. There we go. Nice touchdown. Got a Canadian F-18 here. I'll go park it and shut it down. Oh, there's an F-16 that came to park here. What I'll do is I'll park my F-18 here, because earlier my wingman was about to go park in one of the regular parking spots, you know, following the nice yellow lines. But then when I spawned just in front of him, so he crashed into me. So if I spawn here, nobody can spawn on me, of course. But I want to show you the different ways that you can make waypoints. You can make your loadout, you can choose your skin and all that good stuff when you have an airfield that has these abilities. So for now, what we'll do is we'll just ask the ground crew to put the wheel chucks.
Chief, place the wheel chucks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
So we've got our wheel chucks in place. We'll do the lazy shutdown. And I'll show you on the F10 map where we are. So this is the Sanliurfa airfield. And this one, as well as my Gaziantep base, both have dynamic spawns. You can see that there are a few planes that have been shut down, so there's pilot parachutes. This mission's been going on for a little while, and we've already hit some targets. Like I think the last one I hit was the warehouse here. I think I might have hit some targets there. I'm not sure. Maybe not these. Earlier I hit like the park BTRs over here as well. So there are lots of different targets. In one of the previous missions I made, I had hit the infantry camp and the AAA. My wingman destroyed the ZSU-57 that was here. I think he was able to hit one of the tanks here. And so there are still quite a few targets. There are some moving targets there that I could hit. All kinds of different things going on. But you can see that the waypoints that I had created were mostly on some of those targets. Since I didn't hit the hidden ammo, maybe I'll recreate waypoints for that in the next mission. But what we'll do is we'll just go here to the waypoint creation tool, and I'll just delete all the waypoints that are already there. Make it simpler. And so you want to make sure you check the use this route on next spawn, and then you can start adding waypoint. Since I plan to take off from here, I'll do like we had done before, put an IP somewhere here at 14,000 feet, just below the clouds, and we will call it IP. And so then we can go to our hidden ammo area where there's lots of trucks and stuff. I guess we could make it waypoint 2. We'll put it at 0, and we'll say it's ammo T for ammo trucks. And then we have, what else do we have? There's this warehouse that has ammo in it. So since we're doing ground attack, let's take that one. We'll put it on 0. And we'll say WH for warehouse. And maybe we could target the fuel trucks as well. We'll say FT at waypoint 4. Here there's that. What else could I decide to target? Maybe the park tanks. And then we can go set ourselves up with a nice final that'll line us up with the runway. Put it at 5,000 feet. In the F-16 we'll see the altitude, that's what's nice. And then final. And here's 0. Land. So now we've got 7 waypoints. We've got a flight plan. The waypoints will be on the ground near the targets, so it's going to help us with the targeting pod. Sorry. And so we can go hit our ammo, a warehouse, some fuel trucks, this warehouse, these fuel trucks, and then the tanks. And so to be able to fly that, I said I wanted to have an F-16, so I'll go escape, select roll, and in the dynamic slots, because you have some spawn slots that were available before, but I want dynamic slots for this airfield. And you can see that not all airplanes are available because I only made a few available. These grayed out ones you can't choose. But we do have the F-16 in the list. So that looks good. And since we're going to be in Turkey, I guess I'll make it a Turkish plane. I'll put my usual number on it. And then I can say, well, I'd like to have a centerline fuel tank. Don't want the harm targeting pod, but I do want the lightning targeting pod. I'm going to put some GBU 10s here. And just because I like to change the laser codes, I'm going to put my laser code to 1681. And here on the outboard pylons, we're going to go with bombs again, but this time we'll take GBU 38s. It's going to be plugged. We've got different type of plugs. Let's say the short conical and short conical. So we've done our setup. I'm gonna put air-to-air weapons, even though I'm pretty sure all the bandits have been defeated at this point. And so I've got what I want. I can't spawn hut. I forgot to put that in the mission editor. That's something I'll need to change. But when I click OK, I should appear somewhere here on the tarmac, and I'll have that F-16 with that loadout and those waypoints. So there we are. We're in the plane. If we look outside, we can see that it is a Turkish plane. It's got my number 32. It's got the big bombs on the inside and the GBU 38s on the outside. And I've got my targeting pod, so we'll do our lazy startup. So that's the part where we're going to have to wait for a little while, so you can have a look at the beautiful plane as we wait. And so yeah, I think just to the right of where I am is where I spawned with my F-18 earlier, and my wingman was trying to park, and he hit me from behind. That wasn't too great. But this time I'm all alone now on my server. There's nobody else. So I know that this is just me there. So while this is loading, maybe I could go show you some of the things that have happened. Let's say I take this vehicle and I go check F7. So this is like the last target that I hit. It was a warehouse with weapons, and of course these they make secondary explosions when you kill them. I think earlier I had hit an infantry base over here. Let's zoom out just a little bit. There we go. You can see all the trucks and whatever's left of some tents. That's destroyed. This I think is the AAA my wingman destroyed there. Oops. This is a Su-57. And I think he had at least one of the tanks here that were hiding in the woods. At least there's one. Oh yeah, this one here. It's a T-72 that's burnt. Right there at the base. And so yeah, you can see that there are lots of different targets around the area, and the ones I've chosen for myself, I think they're just next to the industrial buildings here, those trucks in the woods, in the trees there. So those are my ammo trucks that I'm gonna try to hit right here. Then at the other end, I think on the side, I'm trying to remember where I put the warehouse with the trucks. It looks like it's here next to all that smoke. So you can see that row of trucks to the left and that building. We're gonna try to hit that, and then we'll try to hit those fuel trucks that are parked in the parking lot there. So those are the targets we want to go get. Our plane is still doing its aligning stuff. We're waiting for that. So that's going to be different things we'll try to hit, and you'll see probably shortly that we'll be able to see these waypoints as part of my flight plan. There you go. So if I make it bigger, we have this and this several targets I selected, my final, and then the landing waypoint, which is almost on top of where I am now. So yeah, we're gonna go fly that. Once we have our INS aligned, we'll set up the cockpit, we'll set up everything on the plane, and we'll go hit some targets. Auto start complete. Alright, they say that, but you have to check if your helmet display is on, then you have to check if your HUD brightness is good, then you want to turn on your GPU 38's power. These I'm going to put on CCRP. They're good for air to ground. When I'm air to air, I like to put my sidewinders ready for bore sight. And now that's good. And you know me, I like to master arm and laser arm on the ground. We'll get that system started. Put it on bypass. Put on the taxi lights. We don't have any not countermeasures, but electronic countermeasures, ECM, because we have a fuel tank in the center. So I guess that means we're just about ready to go. We'll turn the nose wheel steering on, make sure the wheel brakes are off, and let's roll. Just for fun, as I taxi, I can ask the AWACS if they've got any bogeys for me.
Chevy 1-1. Request bogey dope.
Oh, I guess I'm not on the right frequency. So one of the cool things in this mission is on my F10 map, I wrote down the frequencies. So now I can go comms 1, 26400. There we go. And if I go back there and I try that again.
Magic 1-1. Chevy 1-1. Request bogey dope.
Looks like we're clean, so we won't be expecting too many bogeys. So here we're all by ourselves, so we don't need to check if there's anybody coming in. I think all the AI planes that could have landed here have already landed. Unfortunately, I can't refuel now with the F-16 because earlier in the mission we failed to intercept one of the MiG-29s that actually shot a missile at the KC-135, so we're down one refueler for the F-16s. I think we still have the one for the F-18s, but yeah. So let's go try to hit some targets. We're pretty heavy with those GBU-10s, as I just found out taking off. Try to gather some speed. Center the rudders. And off we go. Set my attitude hold like this here. There we go. Let's check if the stream is still running fine. It looks like it is. So we hear a little bit of static because Magic 1-1 is quite a distance away from us. So yeah, there's still a KC-130, but these pilots we see here, I think the MiG-29 shot them. We got the MiG-29 eventually, but shot the KC-135. So as you can see, we're getting close to our IP, and then we're gonna go try to get that hidden ammo there. So I think I'll drop one of my big bombs on this area, so it'll destroy probably a lot of those. And then my other big bomb will go to the warehouse there. It's going to be a bit difficult because the targets are not necessarily very close together. So it means I'll have to fly for a little while with one side pretty heavier than the other. One of the cool things is we took care of most of the AAAs around the target. I think there might still be a man pads, so we'll be careful for that. I was able to get one of the man pads earlier. Okay, so let's stabilize here at about 14,000. Passing this waypoint, so we'll just switch to the next one, and now we're going to go to the altitude hold. And did I turn this on? Yes, it was on. We're going to switch to air to ground, go to our targeting pod, make it our sensor of interests. And I think we can see the forest there. Before I get ready to shoot though, I have to go to my lists. Miscellaneous. Laser 1681 is what we had set our bombs for. And just because sometimes I get confused, I make sure I enter the same code for the LST. So when you have the code in both, you know you've got the right one. Alright, so now let's zoom in a little bit on that. Let's try to center the camera like where we're going to get more damage. Somewhere there I think is going to be good. So we're going to lock that point. That's going to be our first target. Confirm master arm, laser arm are on. Getting close to the release point. Try to center it on the line, give as much of a chance to the bomb to hit, and holding the pickle button, bombs away. So now I'm gonna give it a little bit of compensation there. Gonna turn left and then turn right. Lasing. Let's go see what that bomb does. I think it's a fair assessment that we did some pretty good damage. There's this little truck there that's moving away, but alright. So now let's get to the next waypoint, which is our warehouse. I think we just flew past it, so we'll have to fly away, come back, drop the other big bomb. I like to fly at least 10, 11 miles away because the bombs, depending on your altitude, they can drop at like sometimes 7 or 6 miles, but if you don't have enough maneuvering room, you might not be able to target properly. So now we're going to start our turn. Yes, it's possible to fly with all that weight on one side. Might have to do a cursor 0 because it doesn't look like it's right on target. So let's turn the autopilot back on. Yeah, that looks better. So I think that's my building right there. Yeah. And so we're gonna lock there. We're still on our GBU 10. And so we see the bomb fall over these points. Pickle. Bombs away. And we should see another big kaboom. We'll watch it from here this time. So we're now lasing. And kaboom! Building gone. And a lot of those trucks are on fire as well. Alright. So now we can switch weapons to our GBU 38s. We had a message that the warehouse had been destroyed. I think what I'll do is maybe try to get some of the trucks that made it away. Forgot to turn my lights off when I got into enemy territory. Reason why I think I'm not going to go after the fuel trucks is maybe I'll try them with the F4 after. be a bit more of a challenge in the F4 to get those types of waypoints, but there. Okay, so let's make our targeting pod soy. Let's zoom in. Some of these trucks look like they got away, like this guy here. So we're gonna lock him up first. And so we are in zone for our JDAM. And so bombs away for this guy. This guy's still alive, so bombs away for this guy. Are there any other trucks that moved away? It's kind of hard to see with all that smoke. Okay, well at least we'll have two targets. Ah, there's another one there. Yeah, we're pretty much at the minimum. We can't really shoot at this time, so let's just watch what happens with the other bombs. There's one that hit there, and this is probably going for the first target we had. Oh, and the last bomb also hit the other one that we were looking at, so yeah. Pretty much this whole area here got destroyed. Now the previous warehouse, I think I had damaged some of the parked trucks there, but we're going to see if we can locate it. I'm going to set my autopilot again, and then we're going to look for targets of opportunity near the road where there was that other one there. Let's zoom in on that. Whoops. Yeah, we can see these trucks are not destroyed. We can't have that. So that's our next target. Let's go. And after him, I think I'll go for that little truck that we saw on my first target that got away. We'll see if we can locate him. So there, we're in zone. Bombs away. There, we're gonna even things out. I'm gonna go back to my waypoint 1, or waypoint 2 actually. Cursor is 0. I'm gonna zoom out from that. And I think, yeah, this truck here, the one that was smoking, that's going to be the next target. Let's go check our bomb, where it's headed. It's going to go after those trucks there. Kaboom! We're still getting secondary explosions on the target. So we'll move away from this one, and then we'll go drop our last bomb. And then we'll be able to come back with the F4. And as I said, I'm going to go for those fuel trucks. I could also go for the parked trucks here. There's a few things we can get. I'd forgotten about the T-55s here. That's what? That's waypoint 5? Maybe a tank is worth more than a Jeep with a machine gun. What do you think? Set up waypoint 5. Zoom in on that area with the cursor 0 maybe. Yeah, there we go. That looks like a tank to me. Target locked. Gonna line it up. Gonna wait till we get a bit closer. And bombs away. We're out of bombs. Put it back to Cat 1. You can see my plane flying away and the bomb. It's interesting that my spawned plane is Australian, I guess. And boom goes the tank. Alright. Oh, and we're getting still targeted by AAA, so I guess there were still some nasty surprises in the area. Well, since we're done with air to ground, let's head home. One of the things I found out earlier, I had put F-15E available at this airfield where we took off from. The F-15E, when you put waypoints, like for this plane, I did that and I got my waypoints. The same thing worked with the F-18. It didn't work for the F-15E, so might have to do with the fact that it hasn't been updated in a while and maybe it's still early access, but yeah. We know the story with the F-15. The thing I'm wondering though is if it'll work with the F-4, because the F-4 is its own beast. The thing I saw in a video yesterday though is that you can put markers on the map, in the F-10 map, and then use those to tell Jester, hey, after this waypoint, put this waypoint, and we'll see if I can use that. So I'll probably put both. Got my F-16 heading back home. Having used all the bombs it carried. So what we're going to do is we're going to jettison our tank. As you can see, we're a bit more aerodynamic, and now we're going to burn some gas. Get there faster. Because it's a video game, I'm not too worried about the sonic booms, not too worried about the price of gas. And so we have something like this. Kaboom. enough of the gas burning. Let's go autopilot off. We're even going to cut the final approach a little bit. I want to go test my F4. Been doing lots of tests with the F-16s and F-18s tonight, so I want to fly the F4 now. Drop our airspeed.
Altitude. Altitude.
Not really the recommended approach, but it'll do for now. We're just trying to get this plane on the ground so we can go fly the F4. Nose wheel steering. And we'll do like we did before, we'll just park it like in one of those areas where it won't disturb anybody. Like so.
Chief, place the wheel chocks.
Put the parking brakes.
Wheel chocks are now in place.
Do the lazy shutdown. And so that's another plane safely brought back home. So we'll go back to our F10 map. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try one thing first, which will be this. I'm going to go with the markers. I'll remove the waypoint 2. I'll go with the markers. I'll say here, this marker. Did that work? There we go. This marker is going to be called fuel. Then this marker will be called trucks. And anything else maybe we could do with an F4. Maybe this guy here, I don't know. So we'll put the waypoint here and we'll we'll call that tech for technical. Okay, so I've put down my 3 markers because I don't know if the waypoint thing will work for the F4. But what I will do is I will go back to my waypoint creation tool. I'll just make sure this is clicked. And then let's say we go and put a waypoint for the fuel. Yeah, that's the weird thing. My old waypoints are all still there, so I'll go delete, 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 delete. We'll keep that one there. One is going to be fuel. Forgot to put an altitude here, 0. 2 is going to be also at 0. Trucks, you could say trucks 2 and fuel 1, just so that it doesn't have the same name as the other marker I put in. So there, and then the other one will be tech 3. And for the F4, I guess if I just put a waypoint somewhere on the runway there, that'll be good enough, which we will call land. Okay, so I believe at this airfield I have some F4s available, so let's see if the F4 will have its waypoints. If not, we'll try the little trick with the markers. So now I'll choose select role, dynamic slots. I'm going to go with the F4E. Make sure that's all set up. The thing I always forget in the F4 is this, so I'll start with that. Because it's a bit of a bummer when you don't have countermeasures. And it's going to be Turkish Air Force. I kind of like this one because it looks old school. I'm going to put my number, but it doesn't change much for this plane because you get what they give you. Bombs. I think I'm just gonna go like with I'll put Mark 82s on the outside. There. There. I don't know what we can change here apart from the fuses. Yeah. And then here we're going to have a big fuel tank. We'll have some sparrows there. Some decoration sidewinders. And because I like doing that, maybe I'll put a special adapter with a Maverick. There. That should be a good loadout. Or do I go with rockets? I think I'll go with rockets. I've practiced my... Yeah, with rockets we can't put the special adapter, I guess. But we can put a lot of them. So let's go with these, the high explosive ones. There. Three high explosives. This, just making sure I've got the same thing on each side. Alright. And I can't spawn hot. So let's go with that. This is when you realize that Syria map and the F4E require a lot of resources. It takes a while for everything to load. And let's look on the outside. Yeah, that's the skin I wanted. I've got my heavy load of bombs, heavy load of rockets, plus a fuel tank. Alright. So now let's do the lazy start.
Roger. Yes, sir. We are connected right.
Looks cool to see all those hoses get plugged in.
And done. Done.
Looks like we're starting to have a little bit of life behind here.
Roger.
Yeah, right side.
Connected left. Yep, done.
Now we're gonna have a little bit of life to the left. And you can see the RPMs are going up on the left side.
And done. Yep. Hey, what alignment do you want?
Disconnected.
Roger that. Forward heading alignment. Alignment completed. Go primary sync now. Ah, ready to taxi.
Roger. Stand by. External power disconnected.
I thought he said he was removing the wheel checks. Let's see if we can ask him.
Roger. Wheel chalks out. Chalks out. You're all set, sir. Have a safe flight. Disconnecting.
down and locked, lights out, stripes aligned.
Alright, so I guess we'll probably do bombs first, so we'll set the outside nose tail bombs, dive toss. We'll drop 6 at a time. I think we'll leave the spacing where it is, maybe put it at 0.6 there. And let's do our bombing table. Dive toss, Mark 82, probably around 450, around 3,000 is pretty good. Oh, let's check our target altitude. Okay, so I do seem to have the waypoints set up, so I won't need those markers I put in. Well, that's nice to know. And yeah, the first target, the altitude here is 1,120. So let's go back to the cockpit. 1,120. Dive angle usually at about 30. So we'll tell that to Jester.
Copy.
And we'll tell that to
Will
Jester.
go.
This will probably be ready when it's ready. This, whenever Jester is ready. And I'm trying to see if I need to select anything. Yeah. Center. I know we're supposed to have the center off when we take off with the center, but I'm afraid I'm going to forget it, so I'll turn it on. In real life, apparently, there's a fire hazard if you do that. I've never seen it happen in DCS, so let's taxi.
All right, tell me. Are we going downtown on this one?
There's that chance we might, yes.
Oh dear. How low?
Come on.
Roger.
I think since I chose to fly below 200, I'll take off, fly for a little bit, then we'll go really low, just to practice, and then we'll do a pop-up on our targets. I think that sounds like a great plan. What's our call sign for this flight? You never know when you're joining those. So I'm Enfield 11. So Enfield 1 run, running up, now.
Engine's good. Airspeed's coming alive. knots. 100 knots. All right, those are some nails. 2 o'clock. Gears moving. Gear up. Flaps up.
Climb a little bit, get a little bit of speed going. Then we'll come back down to practice low level flying. There's one, engage autopilot. Which is why we'll fly low level. So we got 31 miles to go. I'm going to move a little bit to the left of the targets. We can see the smoke there in the distance. Because I think if I arrive from the left, it would be a bit easier to make a pop-up attack. So let's go fly low. Boy, this thing makes a ton of smoke. Something we need to press for this thing to work here. Doesn't seem like I'm getting my radar altitude. That means I have to rely on watching the treetops altitude. Miles. Let's start a little bit of a pop-up. Give it gas, get some speed, start climbing. Alright, I can see my trucks.
I'm captured. Alright, next turn point is in.
And I bet you I forgot my master arm. Look at
Turn
this.
point is in.
Which means I'll get an opportunity to line up a little bit better. You gotta find excuses when you don't do the job right. They'll have no idea where we're coming from. Still have to have an idea of where I'm going though, which is there.
Captured.
And we're dropping bombs. Let's see how that does. Oh, I got 3 of them.
We've got good steering to the next turn point.
So just for variety's sake, we switch to the rockets right away? No, I think I'll get rid of all my bombs and then we'll switch to rockets. we'll finish the rest of the targets with the rockets. Alright, let's give it power. Line up these trucks along the road in the center of town. See what we can do there.
And captured.
Bombs away. I hit some of them. The middle part, I guess, caught fire. Alright, so now we're out of bombs. We're gonna switch to rockets. Not even sure I remember how to do that, but we'll try. Direct. I think we need to set a depression, but how much? 35? Something like that. Ooh, and we see some little bursts of flak. So we'll go try to revisit our fuel trucks, our first target. To remember here. Yep. Rockets, continuous. Oh, the targets are in the smoke. Let's see. Did that do some damage? I think it did. Trying to jink and line up trucks at the same time. It's not easy. Here goes nothing. I think it did better than I had expected. Looks like most of the column is on fire. Now where's that truck that I wanted to hit there? He's right at the edge of that forest. Okay. So that means right there. Okay. I think I sort of see him. Yeah, that little white thing there. Did I get him? Don't think I did. He's shooting at me. So we'll go empty the rocket pods on that last truck position there, and then we'll head home. Yeah, it's on fire. We got him. Try something. Let's see. So that's a Dishka next to those. Okay, maybe we'll try a gun run on a Dishka. Actually, what I'll do here is I'll turn off this and I'll jettison all these empty things, including the fuel tank. There we go. Bye-bye. So we'll bring that back here. This is good. We can turn this off. Just leave the gun on. Test the gun. It works. And so we'll do one last pass. So looking at the geography near these tree areas. So it's gonna be like, oof, or wobbly. It's gonna be in this sector right here. Let me try to see if I can spot him with the zoom. Okay, I just spotted him. That was not very good. And now he's shooting at me because he's mad. One more time because it's good practice. And because we don't have fuel forever. Oh, well, it looks like he's hurt. Oh yeah. He's on fire now. That's pretty good. I'll take it. We're even gonna bring 274 rounds back home. Oh, those things were off. That might explain the wobble. Yeah, it's a bit more stable now. Not really used to the cold start, so sometimes I can forget a few switches. That might explain why the autopilot didn't want to engage earlier if my stability augmentation systems weren't on. Can't have the autopilot work. It's funny how you stop flying a plane for 3-4 weeks and you forget how it works. This is a good looking jet. When we use this view, probably you're going to see the beauty of the plane a little bit better because it really focuses on the plane. Even if I turn, it's the world that moves, not the plane. It's a pretty cool camera.
What's our fuel looking like?
Looks like we're gonna make it home. Say we're good. Because we're, what, 22 miles? Yeah, we're good. Enjoy the scenery, Jester. Look at those beautiful cities we're protecting. That's the runway right there. So we're going to turn right just a tad so that we can then come back and align with the runway. Wonder if I'll be able to make a landing that'll be satisfactory to Mr. Jester. I don't like when my butt hurts on the landing. So we're landing on 2-2. We're going to line up more or less 0-4. And so autopilot off. Throttle down. Haven't played much with the radio in the F4. Would have been interesting to see if I could call the AWACS. You know, you look around and you can't even find the radio controls. It means you need to read some more about it. You know how that works, the TACAN and stuff. It's 63, it's already set. I could put it on the TACAN if I wanted to. Just have fun with that. TAC. TAC. VORTAC. Which one is it for the TACAN? I forget. Heading. TAC. Ooh, okay. Watch what you're doing at all times. Even the autopilot can't keep the brick aloft if it doesn't have any throttle inputs. Kind of screwed myself up here in terms of my situational awareness because I got no clue where I'm going now. Let's help each other with the map, but okay. To turn further right. I guess if I put it back on the nav computer, there, it's going to point to the airfield. So much for the TACAN. I guess it's going to be another lesson I'll have to redo. some altitude, then drop the gear. Drop the flaps.
$300. Alrighty, gear, flaps, pressure, warning lights, anti-skid. $100. Textbook landing, nice.
Hey, for once he's not screaming and hollering. I'll take that. There we go. That looks pretty. Let's make it look like that. Lazy shutdown.
Roger. And wheel chocks are in, sir.
Let's get these windows open. It's pretty hot here. Forget which key I had set for my neat sunglasses. Sunglasses. Ah, there's a joystick vine for it. Is it this button? Is it this button? Nope. Well then, it's not a big deal. Now what I wanted to go check is the targets that we had given ourselves. No more fuel trucks here. Let's take this vehicle and F7 from here. We're gonna go check where the fuel trucks were parked, which I think was somewhere around here. There they are. Well, they're all very much burning. So that's hit. Now in the town there was a nice row of trucks, which are no more. And in these bushes and trees here, there was a truck. Or was it these? Yeah, it was here. Oops. Let's just zoom out like that, and you can see the pickup truck at the bottom there is pretty much toasted. And then I went on the other side with my guns. And I think I got the other one. Was it here or? Yeah, somewhere in that area. Yeah, there he is. Other truck toast. I could see the BTR there. And you can see his friends had been hit a bit earlier by some of my bombs in the F-16. But this guy here, I got him with the guns. That's pretty cool. So as you can see, I've left the enemy force here with very little left to fight with. I didn't go touch the moving vehicles, so that would be something for another flight. There's a truck here that's almost dead. I think that's a man pad, or no, that's a AAA. So yeah, a few AAAs, one tank, a few moving vehicles. The HQ, of course, we didn't hit the HQ. There's a mission that I had built just for that, but it's that building right there. Put a few sandbags around it, and I thought there was more infantry than that around it. Maybe some of the guys went to sleep. This guy, though, he's keeping watch for the bad guys. But yeah, this was the HQ building that one of the F-18s has waypoints for. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration of how you can create flights with the create waypoint route tool, and then how you can just choose planes from the airports where you've enabled the dynamic spawn. I'll have to go back in the editor and check the box for hot starts. I kind of prefer hot starts. No dicking around with cold starts and switches. It's fun to do once in a while, the whole cold start procedure, but it's also nice to just get in your plane and go. So I hope you enjoyed.